Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Triangle Strategy. This is episode 5. I'm gonna pop out of the... I'm gonna leave the encampment real quick. I like that it doesn't show me... I like that it shows me the next thing, but that it doesn't show me the promotion after that, because I feel like that would be kind of spoilery. Okay, so I was trying to see if it gave me like a mount, but it does not. So we're gonna go back into the encampment and we're gonna try one of the battles. We're gonna try pincer attack because it drops fiber. And we're going to look to potentially loot some fiber. There is a limit to the number of units you may deploy in battle. Units over this threshold go into your reserves and will not participate in battle. Use the X button to access the screen where you can change deployed and reserved units. Oh no. Units that may prove especially helpful in battle are marked recommended. There's no penalty if you do not deploy the recommended units. I want...
And now, to arms!
I won't let you down.
Ready and willing.
Shall we?
We don't have very much front line with this, actually. I think I'm gonna swap
To
over
battle
to...
with pleasure.
I am ready.
Oxbane. Okay, fuck it. Let's go. Yeah, see how this works out. So as far as this is concerned, it looks like we should just rush the guys to the north of us. Overpower them. And then head back. Or, you know, hold the high ground there.
No! Oh, no!
Fuck off.
Charge!
My goodness.
Brace yourself! Did you see
Nice.
that? For my kingdom!
Hell yeah.
Time to take flight.
Here's the thing, he's gonna go down. See if we can mitigate damage here. Blinding arrow.
From this range.
Missed! Ah!
From where shall we strike? This ends here. Leave it to me. Come at me.
You go ahead and bravo. Not super happy about my options. That is not what I wanted to do. Whoops. She's down.
Frederica.
Did not
I'm
want
sorry.
to do the thing there. Alright, well, we fucked that up royally.
Let me show you what I've learned.
Scorch here.
Flames, heed my call.
Nice. That's nice.
I won't lose. Huh! Yes!
Hell yeah.
Come at me!
Eesh. I'm gonna go ahead and provoke.
Come and get me!
And then we're gonna move over here and sit.
The hunt is on. Goodbye!
Okay.
I will fight to my last breath.
I'm a fool. For the honor of House Wolfort.
Okay. Kill here.
Wait your turn.
My god, more spoils. Did you take my spoils? Ooh. Get him. Motherfucker. Fucking did it. Can't believe this motherfucker.
It hurts.
Spreads the effect of lightning. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
With the powers in me.
Simultaneously strike 3 units.
For victory! This is it!
Nice.
Here I come.
Here I go, here I go, here I go again.
Goodbye!
Forward! This ends here!
Oh shit!
You won't beat me!
I'm playing very much in a fuck it, don't care if people die kind of
Come
way
and get me!
now. I went from being like absolutely no one dies to, you know, whatever.
Ah!
Fucking curing wounds over there.
I can still stand.
I can't cure wounds anymore.
Ah! For victory!
Hell yeah.
Brace
Roland does the
yourself.
deeps, yeah.
This
Okay.
isn't good. From this range.
Nice, blinded. Hell yeah.
For the honor of House Wolfort. Wait your turn. Have another. I've been waiting for this. Time to die.
Oh no, we
Too
missed.
slow.
It didn't matter. Still killed
For
him.
my
Wow.
kith and kin.
I can still stand. Two ashes.
Here, yeah.
Nice try.
Nice.
For victory. Brace yourself.
It isn't over yet.
Alright, regular attack is actually stronger. Cool.
This ends now!
I need to keep an eye on
Leave
the
it to
actual,
me.
like, power rating of attacks. Because instinctually, I'm just kind of like,
Forward.
oh, usability, but in actuality, the abilities tend to do less damage, at least right now, than basic attacks, because they have special effects.
Haha. I'll
Makes
take you on.
perfect sense.
Time to die.
So we did this because we wanted fiber. We picked up multiple spoils. I'm assuming some of the spoils we pick up is coin. We pick up multiple spoils and we get coin and iron. Like, yeah, okay. Like, sure. Whatever. So I kind of feel like we want to... I mean, we might as well. We'll, buy. 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 We will buy their stock of upgrading materials. I don't know that weapon potency with clear weather. Oh, I see the weapon changes as well. That's neat. I think I've seen that before, actually. So your model changes with your class, your weapon model changes on its own. Pretty neat. Huh. I wonder, if increasing weapon potency does just her basic attack or if it does her abilities. I think we're gonna go for this. Is there an off chance that we can... No. Okay, whatever. Bad enough. $20. Hope there's nothing here that has like a big time limit. Because I basically just leave the switch on. Okay, so our first scales of conviction. Let's see what's up. We just cart this fucking thing around with us? That seems
your
crazy.
first test as Lord has come. 'Tis no small matter either.
Indeed, but I needn't face it alone. I would ask each of you where you think we should go and why. State your case before the scales of conviction. Then we shall decide our destination.
We take a vote and the consensus determines our action. Is that it?
That is correct. So long as my allies walk by my side, their opinions carry equal weight to mine.
But missed.
Such is the way of House Wolford. As Lord, I shall bear the weight of consequence for the Scales' decision, whatsoever they may be.
Aha!
You are more serious than usual, my friend.
He understands what it means to be Lord of his house.
Well, I hope you have room for a stowaway, because I'm going too. In secret, of course. I trust the new Lord Wolfort will handle the ponderous negotiations and diplomacy with grace.
Nice.
Your Highness, you cannot be...
You may stay ashore if you wish, Huette.
You know I cannot allow that. If you insist on going, then I shall attend you.
Hata! And now we have our 7th member. But we got 7 coins.
Well then, it would seem the matter is settled.
There is exactly 1 coin for each of us.
Almost as if it was designed like that.
It seems fate has conspired to bring balance to our proceedings.
7 is exactly not balance. Although, I guess if I'm the 8th, there's balance.
How curious.
Curious? I see it as a sign that the heavens approve of my joining you.
Touché.
You are ever the optimist, my friend.
Shall we proceed, my lord? 1 coin, 1 vote.
Yep.
Very well. I would hear each of your thoughts on the matter in turn. Then you shall place your coin upon the scales of conviction and illuminate the road ahead.
Alright. This is the tutorial conviction thing, basically. Aha, okay. I do get to go talk to everyone. Although I may not have my own token of conviction, it is my duty to lend an ear to their arguments. An honest exchange of opinions will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfies all who vote. The path of the story will be determined by the consensus of your party as played out through voting scenes. Each of your allies will cast their vote according to his or her own convictions. As the player, you will be bound to the decision of the majority. Before voting commences, you may attempt to persuade the others to change their minds. Whether or not your attempt succeeds will only be revealed when the votes are cast. The strength of Serenoa's convictions will affect the chances of success. The key to winning over your party is gathering the necessary information beforehand. That information may not always be found in the same room where the votes are cast, so be proactive in talking to everyone you meet on your journey. Okay. We've got Roland, Hewitt, and Eridor are all about that Esfrost. Benedict, Frederica, and Gila are all about that Hyzant. And then Anna is like, I don't know. Hell yeah. Gotta explore everything else while this is happening. Aw, there's nothing down here. Sadness. There was stuff down here in the demo when you fight on the bridge. Spoilers. Ugh. My nose is all clogged. Huh? No. Sadness hero. The Kodama in me strikes again, but fails this time. Holy shit, we got a lot of free room to run over here. What's up, Bodhi? What you up to? Was I just sleeping, Papa? Ugh. Okay, we found exactly nothing. Oh well. It's okay not to find something sometimes. I'm assuming when we talk to these people here that it's just going to be information that we're getting, but we'll see. King Regna expects great things of you, Lord Sereno. If there is anything I can do to be of service, simply say the word. Huh. I kind of want to simp for Frederica, honestly, but I am also just like, this is interesting. Are there problems I should be aware of? So let's go with that, because I don't know if we only have one option. Surely you jest, Lord Sereno. The kingdom is in the capable hands of royalists like myself. Okay, so you're gonna be a jackass. You're not gonna tell me shit. Our home has a long history of prosperous trade that utilizes everything our bountiful land has to offer. There's nothing for the warriors of House Wolffort to worry themselves over. But, if I may be so blunt, Prince Roland's whimsical acts of late have been met with disappointment from both King Regna and Prince Franny. I wouldn't call them whimsical, Minister Patriot. Oh, my nose is leaking. BRB. I can feel. Yeah, this might end up having to be my last episode for the night. How I progress. Also, might not be going to work tomorrow. Which is neither here nor there, I suppose. Okay, Roland is doing everything he can for his kingdom. If this were not a family matter, I should like to ask His Highness myself to conduct himself in a manner more befitting a prince. Alas, this is out of my hands. I am certain you understand the same, Lord Wolffort. I would hate for anything to happen should you decide to step in. House Wolffort has turned its sword on the royal family before, albeit 30 years ago. Did we? But in the end, your house joined forces with the kingdom to lead the war to its end, and are even lauded as heroes to this day. But there are some who still harbor their suspicions. I urge you to proceed with the utmost caution. Pray forgive me. I forget myself sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Serenoa, and I'm sure you will choose most wisely. You did not give me anything to sway Esfrost or Hyzant there. Lord Wolfort, I know your position as head of your house comes with many responsibilities, but being party to Roland's fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand that. Y'all just talking about Roland, so, you know. I'm gonna hit him with this one. I appreciate your concern, Prince Franny, and hope that you and I can be friends as well, just like our fathers before us. Cannot win my favor as you have my brothers. Well, go fuck yourself then, Franny. House Wolford may be a vassal to the crown, but they also possess a very special power. Cozying up to the royal family will do nothing but arouse needless suspicion. Franny is a jackass. Like, I've seen nothing from Franny to suggest other than him just being a dick ass. Like, my goodness. Every time he starts talking, I'm like, you're a fucking little shit. My apologies. I will be more cautious of the boundaries between the high houses and the crown, for the sake of the kingdom. I'm glad we have an understanding. I hope you know I acknowledge both the power and good faith of House Wolford. Pray do not fan the flames of my brother's foolishness any further. Prince Franny and Minister Patriot are waiting to see off our esteemed guests. They said to ask them if you have any questions on the matter. Yeah, they gave me fucking no helpful information. Okay, fucking Roland seems to be like the big deal, so let's talk to Roland.
Say,
Doubtless Esfrost will be a close partner in the days ahead. Would be wise to see how they live, don't you think?
say.
I actually kind of agree with him for right now. Let's see the other supporting members of this.
Lord Serenoa.
Esfrost's soldiers are said to be among the strongest in all of Norzelia. However, that is only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself. Okay.
Listen, lad.
Can't very well say Hyzant holds much appeal to me. Sorsley and Exham are too clever by half. I'm sure the people of Esfrost will give a warm reception, even if their weather won't. Negotiating may yet prove fruitful. Huh. Can't go wrong with a visit to Esfrost considering your nuptial circumstance. Benedict?
Lord
Hyzant's
Serenoa.
Ministry of Medicine is said to be a beacon of progress in both medicine and magic. I believe we could benefit greatly from seeing the fruits of their knowledge with our own eyes.
Serenoa.
I've always wondered when I might visit the country where my mother was born. How did she spend her youth? I would very much like to see.
Lord Serenoa, hello.
Until now, Frederica's position has offered her few chances to visit Hyzant. Deepening your relations with the Holy State will doubtless be a benefit as well. Why not use this opportunity to let Frederica realize a long-held wish in the meantime? I'm kind of sold for that. Like, legitimately, no one else has a real, like, strong reason for going to Esfrost or Hyzant, except Frederica wants to see where her mother's from. And Gila wants to support that. So, like, that's actually cool.
Lord Serenoa.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Okay. Let's see if we can convince people to go to Hyzant instead of Esfrost. Yeah, fuck it. They say Hyzant is the nation of salt and sand. Do you have a reason to go there? I wish to see what miracles are performed at the ministry and learn what kind of magic and medicine enables them. That would be cool. I also like the first one. I hear everyone is treated as equals. I would see the truth of that claim. But I don't know that Anna gives a shit about that.
Indeed.
I see. I hear the feats performed there beggar belief. Any knowledge we could gain would surely come in handy during times of need. Right, like Anna follows after Benedict, so she kind of has that more practical approach to things. Thank you for sharing, my lord. I see now why you wish to visit Hyzant. Okay, so we're going to try to convince the other three, so Roland, Hewitt, and Eridor, to travel to
Lord
Hyzant.
Serenoa.
Hyzant has its charms as well, I'm sure. What about it appeals to you, my lord? Ah, the Ice Mage, yes. I like seeing the unlocks that we've gotten. That's very cool. I wish to see how their touted equality works in practice. For now, it is only words to me. Love to visit the source. There's nothing else like it in the world. It is said the skill of their mages is unequal. Would you like to test your skill against such warriors? That's such a Hewitt response, and I've known Hewitt for like 10 minutes.
Quite true.
I have heard the same. What magic I have seen is impressive enough. I can scarce imagine what a true master could do. I would like to try my hand against one in mock combat, if able, my bow against their spells.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord. I suppose there may be some merit in visiting Hyzant. I like it. I like this situation. Ooh, undecided? Oh, shit.
Listen, lad.
Okay, let's see what we got. You want to go to Hyzant, do ye? Care telling me why, my lord? I was kind of hoping, because Eridor, I feel, is more like the, the heelsy kind of person, right? I was kind of hoping we could be like, well, Frederica wants to go, right? And Eridor be like, gotcha, fam, like that feels like an Eridor kind of thing. The sand and sun must make people of a different sort than here. It would be interesting. I do think that's kind of cool. I've long wanted to visit the source. It's the cornerstone of all life in Norzelia. Stories of the miracles performed in the Ministry of Medicine have piqued my interest. Such knowledge could help our soldiers and common folk alike. I do think Eridor would like that as well.
You're on something.
Doubtless we could learn from the minds in the Ministry. Would that we had such gifted healers and mages at our disposal. Might be we could ask them for a book, but I've always been of the mind that the best learning is done through doing.
I've made up my mind.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Okay.
Say,
What reasons have you for wanting to visit Hyzant? Okay, the equality thing. Yeah. I would be fascinated to see a society where everyone is truly equal.
certainly.
Indeed, they say Hyzant is a country without kings or nobles. It's hard to imagine. But why imagine when we could see it with our own eyes? An interesting proposal. I wonder what everyone else thinks. You've given me much to consider, friend. I like this is a fun situation. You did the full simp route in your playthrough. Everything that Frederica wants, all for Frederica. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know, I just, like, in this moment, I legitimately feel like, no one has any real strong convictions. Obviously, this is the first choice in the game, but, like, no one has any real reason to want to go to Esfrost to kind of, like, aside from, like, idle curiosity. Like, Roland's reason is probably the best reason in the concept of, like, look, they're about to be close allies. they're closer-ish allies than Hyzant, we should probably deal with them instead. Right? Like, that's a legitimate political reasoning. But Frederica's the only one who has a legitimate personal reason. She wants to go see where her mother's from. Okay, that's cool. Alright, let's go. Let's do this. I'm assuming I'm going to be able to convince one of them to come over to my side.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we journey to the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, or the Holy State of Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You've convinced me.
Hey, I'm alive. We're going to get all of them Hyzant. Hyzant is just as good as Esfrost. Well, yeah, we already knew where they would go. That's it. That's all we need. We got 4. I like that it's going to tell us
You
anyways.
have my vote.
Where my lord goes, I follow. Anna goes with us.
I changed my mind.
Nice. Hyzant has its charms, I admit. Charms I mean to see for myself. Like it. I like it.
You won me over.
I'm behind you, my lord. Alright, we convinced everyone to go where we wanted. Totally a
Scales of
democracy.
conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Holy shit. Everyone's Hyzant it is. Hell yeah.
The way
I don't know
forward is
why, but I
decided.
feel like that is a moral victory for us.
We journey to Hyzant.
Nice. I like it. Very cool.
We have decided. We set sail for the holy state of Hyzant.
That's just legitimately, who the fuck carries these scales around?
Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are ready to set sail, Lord Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Holy One and the Saintly Seven, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
Okay. Okay. I like to imagine that they use the scales for extremely mundane things.
Lord
Like what to
Serenoa,
have for breakfast
we are
that
honored
morning.
that you would choose to grace our nation with your presence.
Oh hell yeah.
That said, I must offer you a warning as well.
What the fuck?
It may be in Lady Frederica's best interests to remain here in Glenbrook.
Are they super racist towards Rosellans or whatever they're called there as well?
I fear there may be some complications were she to come to Hyzant.
So the whole, I feel cheated game. I feel cheated. The whole reason I wanted to go to Hyzant was because she wanted to see it.
She is half-sister to the Archduke and my betrothed besides. What complications could there possibly be?
She's got pink
None,
hair.
if I had any say in it. However, the matter is more delicate than that.
Ay, ay, ay.
Your lady's hair would draw attention. Unfortunately, none of it favorable.
Fuck you.
My mother's hair. The pink locks of the Roselle.
Mother once told me of how her people fled Hyzant.
Then you know how the Roselle are viewed in our nation. How the gospel of the goddess regards them as sinners.
Yes, I do.
Wow. The entire religion is just like, fuck these people.
But I am from Esfrost, and I assure you I have committed no sins.
Of course, my lady. Very well then. I will do all in my power to see your visit is a pleasant one.
Have her go fucking hooded, jeez. I mean, granted, she's gonna be in the desert, so that would probably suck, but...
Thank you. Pray forgive my outburst.
I wouldn't really count that as an outburst, but okay.
You've no need to apologize. Still, I must ask, are you certain?
I must go. I would see with my own eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
See where and how my mother and her people suffered.
I'm assuming the Roselle and that whole side of things is going to become a bigger part of the story. Or a big part of the story. I don't think you just casually throw in fantasy racism into your video game unless it's going to be a big part of the story. Like, there's got to be a reason why they are branded as sinners or outcasts or thrown to the, side of things. So, I look forward to discovering
By order
that.
of King Regna, Serenoa escorts their esteemed guests back home, beyond the forest and over the mountains to a vast sand-swept land.
Nice. Hey, we get to see the triangles move. Not triangles, but still. Not triangles at all, but
a
still.
grand wall of stone
Little
rises
infantry
before them.
tiles.
Known as the goddess's shield.
Technically, I think
behind
those
it
are like
lies the
cavalry
source,
tiles.
Noselia's only supply of salt.
That still freaks me out. I'm like, why is this the only place in this whole, like, location that has salt? Like, surely they mean, like, this is the only real salt deposits, not like it's the only place with salt. Successfully downloaded an update. Could you not? You could check my settings and be like, do not download things while I'm playing a game. Alright.
Upon the lake shores of the source towers a giant likeness of the goddess, ever watching over the flourishing city and the palace below. This is the holy state of Hyzant.
Chapter 3, Part 2, The Land of Sand and Sun. Very cool.
I had heard tales of the goddess's shield, but its grandeur surpasses even my imagination.
I mean, yeah, that's a big wall.
It protected the holy state from both Glenbrook and Esfrost during the war. None in history have succeeded in breaching it. Do you think you might fare better, Lord Serenoa?
Yes, because I will go to Dragon and I'll be like, yo, can I have some explosives? And then I will plant explosives on your walls and be like, bye-bye. And before that actually happens in this game. Throwing that out there. Look, in a game like this, you only brag
I think
about
penetrating
how
these walls would be nigh impossible.
you only brag about how impregnable a fortification is when it's gonna be penetrated.
A most courteous answer. I should have expected as much.
That's true. You should have expected as much.
What's that sound?
Ah. Oh, we're gonna pray. Yep, we're gonna pray in a direction. Yep.
Could this be?
Cool.
Is this the hour of worship I've heard so much about?
Hour of worship? Hour? Hour's a long time, y'all.
Indeed. Hyzantians offer their prayers up to the goddess's statue every day. They thank her for her blessing, for bestowing us with the source, from which all Norzalia's salt is harvested.
To see every citizen pray is astonishing.
The goddess truly is at the center of all Hyzant, just as the stories say.
Yeah.
Even so, are there none who'd use this time of worship to rob their fellow citizens?
There are none so misguided among the goddess's believers.
Bullshit.
All Hyzantians are guaranteed food, clothing, and shelter.
Okay, never mind.
The
Maybe.
Holy State has done everything in its power to eliminate poverty and ensure equality.
Okay.
As a result, no one envies others or craves riches for selfish reasons.
That is absolutely not true. People are still going to envy each other and they're still going to crave riches for selfish reasons. They just won't be
Certainly, if everyone were
driven.
equal, there would be naught to fight about.
They won't be driven to commit crimes out of desperation. But they will be still, like, susceptible to the temptation of crime for personal gain.
But achieving absolute equality is impossible.
The words of an unbeliever. The goddess showers her blessings fairly upon all who follow her teachings.
Yeah, you think so? You think every person in this fucking city block is as blessed as you are, Sorsley? I've seen your hands, and I'm calling bullshit.
Before we visit the Hierophant, there is one thing I must tell you about Lady Frederica.
Under normal circumstances, the head of our nation would not permit an audience with one of Rosellan extract.
Extract? Rosellan extract, excuse me?
We have explained the circumstances, however, and she has been granted special permission to enter the palace as an envoy.
That said, we would ask that Lady Frederica remain silent before the Holy One.
Wow.
Silent. Why?
I reiterate that typically she would not be so much as allowed to attend. We ask for your understanding of our creed.
You mean to treat one of Glenbrook's delegates as if she weren't even there?
Everybody's equal, except for the Rosellans.
Prince Roland, you are here in secret. It would not do for you to gainsay another nation's religious creed. I have no objections.
Ay, Frederica, so accommodating.
My apologies.
You needn't apologize. Let us do what we came here for.
Oof.
We appreciate your understanding. Now then, let us show you to the palace.
Is the Hierophant some, like, old fucking racist that's gonna be like, this Rosellan spoke to me? Oh, it's looking like it. What, is that 2 more of the 7? Or is this 6th, and the Hierophant is the 7th. I'm curious.
That is where the Hierophant resides.
The Hierophant imparts us with the goddess's divine messages.
Amsel.
None are allowed to look upon the Holy One's face. None save Minister Edor, who conveys their divine words to us.
Ooh. He looks a little dangerous. The Saintly Seven's Minister of Domestic Affairs. He manages all matters related to the nation's public order.
Pardon our intrusion. Lord Serenoa Wolfort of Glenbrook has escorted us home on behalf of King Regna.
That Edor? Nothing from the Hierophant. The leader of the Saintly Seven and Oracle of the Goddess, little else is known about the Hierophant, whose true form is shrouded in mystery. I bet they got pink hair.
The Hierophant speaks to you.
One of the Saintly Seven and the only one permitted to hear the voice of the Hierophant. Minister of Religion. Gotcha.
Serenoa Wolfort, we thank you for your gracious gesture. We are overjoyed and humbled that you have chosen to grace our nation with your presence.
I am unworthy of such high praise, but honored nonetheless.
House Wolfort and Hyzant have shared a deep bond ever since the Sultan War.
Have we?
On behalf of the Saintly Seven, it is my wish that our friendship will be as strong as it was with your Lord Father.
Who's this fucking hooded fuck
But
over
of
here?
course, I strive to one day measure up to his greatness.
You will also, in time, succeed Lord Simon as advisor to the mining venture, I hear. The Hierophant would hear your true thoughts on the endeavor.
True thoughts. Hi-ya. I mean, my assumption is this one, right? That the intentions of the three nations are not aligned, and that bad shit's gonna happen, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah.
I fear the intentions of the three nations are not aligned. I sense a storm is brewing on the horizon.
Lord Serenoa, is that not a slight to our efforts in this endeavor?
Not to your efforts, no.
Even so, I will not deny my curiosity. Pray, tell us more.
While we may indeed be working together, our motives differ. There's no disputing that. But we must accept that reality and join hands if we truly wish to enrich our nations.
Okay. Not exactly the thought process I had. This is somewhat the difficulty in games where you're role-playing and you're having to select choices. You don't always know, unless the only text in the game is literally the text of the choices that you're making. And it is like that in some games, right? But in most games, what happens is you choose a thought process, and then the game goes through that thought process. And sometimes when that happens, right, like you picking thing, and it's like, oh, well, I picked that thinking that it was gonna do one thing, and it's gone a completely different route. Like one of the games that I think is not like a bad offender, but it makes me think about it a lot is Divinity and Divinity Original Sin 2. Right? Original Sin and Original Sin 2. both had that scenario where they kind of like you can pick choices and then you'll think you'll be picking something, right? Like based off of your background or something like that, and then it's all of a sudden like, whoa, off in left field. Like, I did not mean to imply or say this thing. That was not what I had understood about that choice, you know? So, anyways, moving on.
However, in such a world, only the strong will thrive, and the weak will weep.
Even so.
Lord Serenoa, the Holy One wishes for peace and equality across all Norzelia. It is our hope that you will trust in the Holy State's good intentions.
Of course.
The goddess always watches over those who believe in her. May you all receive her divine protection.
I apologize for visiting you in secret, but there is something I must ask you. I have heard that the people of Hyzant live in equality.
Oh, Roland about to drop this fucking bomb. I can feel it. But
They say the goddess showers blessings upon those who follow her teachings. But is that the only reason?
Oh, a studious one you are, Prince Roland. King Regna has raised you well.
Has he?
Of course, the goddess's teachings are at the core of the equality our citizens enjoy. But there are many measures taken by the Holy State to ensure the happiness of our people.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not just...
Minister Lila's Ministry of Medicine, which dedicates itself to the study of preserving life, is another example of this. The results of their research have allowed many people to overcome illness and injury and live long, healthy lives.
Fascinating. I would like to hear more about Hyzant's medical discoveries.
Yeah. Maybe enough to save my
I see we
Papa?
managed to pique
Save
your
Papa?
interest. Minister Lila, I leave our guests in your capable hands. Pray, show them around the ministry, and let them admire Hyzant's pursuit of life and magic.
I like that. That's pretty cool. Save in progress. Hey, Franny and Cordelia talk about their brother Roland in his absence. So let's do a save. And I want to pop over to the encampment and I want to see if anything has changed. With like what our options are. Nope. Oh, it does show like check marks on completion though. That's cool. That will mean that I will want to complete all of them. Y'all know how I be. A cursed cask. We should buy a Quietus. One QP. Democracy, the game. So I think the in tandem or the restore is really cool. So in tandem, being able to move an ally's turn to directly after my own is really, really neat. I feel like we can set up some nice combos with that. Or maybe like pull somebody out of bad positioning. So I think I'm going to try in tandem. Okay. We are going to leave the encampment though. Well, I wanted to check the War Chronicle as well, because we keep on picking up these... Yeah, here we go. Secret Tactics Scroll of Heaven. Cavalry and Hawk Riders are known for their superior mobility. This grants them the ability to move freely across the battlefield, although venturing too far from their allies leaves them without support and puts them at risk of concentrated enemy attack. They should therefore stay close to the main force and utilize their mobility to either flank or get behind enemies who draw near. While acting alone can be dangerous, a team of 3 or more cavalry units or Hawk Riders can prove quite advantageous in battle. They can provide much-needed support to each other and actively intercept enemy troops or assail soldiers lurking in the distance. Doing so would separate them from allies with healing magic, so taking recovery pellets would be a must. Alone, cavalry units and Hawk Riders are challenging to handle, but their real strength lies in their numbers. So, what is the best way to make use of their exceptional mobility? The question gives insight to a commander's true worth. One must be swift, but never hasty. Speed can be your greatest asset, or your greatest enemy. Cool. The Kingdom of Glenbrook is the oldest of the 3 nations existing today. Though there have been changes to the branch families, the blood of the founder still runs strong in the veins of the current king, Regna. The holy state of Hyzant asserts that their nation was founded first according to the goddess's scriptures, and that Glenbrook's long history is a fabrication of later generations. Glenbrook has continued to ignore this claim. Oh, I gotta hit left and right, not. The Grand Duchy of Esfrost was founded by the Archduke's family, who shared a common ancestor with the royal family of Glenbrook. They insisted upon their right to succeed the throne up until the Saltire War began and denied the current royal family's rule. But when the war began, they acknowledged the family's legitimacy and the 2 nations formed a secret alliance. It is said that King Regna required the former Archduke, Zygmunt, to officially recognize his rule in order to enter into an alliance. After the Saltire War fought over Hyzant's sole ownership of salt, the Norzelia Consortium was established to oversee the equal distribution of salt and iron to the realm. The 3 nations brought together trade specialists to create this neutral and impartial organization as agreed upon in the Accords. The consortium's success in fair trade contributed greatly to the reconstruction of Norzelia, which had been ravaged by the war. The Kingdom of Glenbrook, rich in agriculture and fisheries, prospered due to the stable influx of salt from the consortium. The people were able to produce large quantities of salted meats, dried fish, dairy products, and more. Exports of these goods helped restore national power. Though it was thought to be the dawn of a new age for Norzelia, Hyzant began to strengthen its voice within the consortium as the reconstruction progressed. In Esfrost, on the other hand, the situation could not have been worse. Its already small population suffered the greatest number of casualties during the war, and reviving the iron industry was taking longer than anticipated. To make matters worse, salt prices soared within the duchy due to taxes and transportation fees from distant Hyzant. Though iron exports were meant to balance salt imports, the nation's labor and iron shortage caused it to accrue a large trade deficit. Though the consortium was meant to adjust that imbalance, it did not take any drastic measures. Rather, it leaned more towards Hyzant and establishing salt as the main axis of trade. There are some who believe that the Hierophant, unable to accept that the war ended in a draw due to the injuries on all sides, had a hand in this and wished Esfrost to take responsibility for the war. Though the truth is unknown, it is undeniable that Esfrost is the only nation at a major disadvantage. The duchy's dissatisfaction naturally mounted, and a tension, much like the one before the Saltire War began, descended upon Norzelia. A concerned King Regna and Simon Wolfort then summoned the other nations to participate in a joint mining venture at the Grand Norzelian mines. Their aim was not only to ease the tension between the duchy and the Holy State, but also offer support for the former's iron industry and correct the trade imbalance between both nations. By taking the most important this is where this doesn't make sense from a legitimate standpoint. You're trying to correct the imbalance between the nations by opening a mine in Glenbrook that produces the thing that the Duchy of Esfrost is reliant on producing to survive, right? So you are going to put more of a thing into the market that makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. It would make sense to supply Esfrost with manpower, right? Like it talked about a shortage, a labor shortage, right? Because of the amount of their population that fell in the fighting. It would make sense to be like, okay, well, let's establish a work program where we send people to Esfrost, right? And we pay them a high wage for X amount of years to work in the iron mines, you know? Or we support researchers like Dragon, right, to figure out ways to more easily mine iron, right, etc., etc. Like this whole like this doesn't make sense. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. This part doesn't make sense. The entire realm watches this new venture with hopeful eyes, praying that it will finally create the much-needed balance between salt and iron and restore the original functions of the Norzelia Consortium. I guess what they're basically saying is it's not Hyzant versus Glenbrook versus Esfrost, right? In the consortium. They're basically saying it's Hyzant and Glenbrook Esfrost in the consortium, and it's these two have iron, and this one has salt, and Esfrost is failing to deliver on the iron, so Glenbrook's helping bail them out, right? Like, I guess that's kind of the concept, but again, all that it sounds like it's gonna do, though, is if this new mining venture is really, really good, it's just gonna be like, okay, well, we don't fucking need Esfrost, you backwater pieces of shit. Bye. You know? Like, if it succeeds, then perhaps our realm will finally know peace, and the tragedies of the Salt Iron War will be a thing of the past. I don't expect that's gonna happen. The Eternal Norzelia River. The Norzelia River has two tributaries with unique properties. The western branch, running from the snowy Norzelian mountains, is filled with water year-round. Although the water levels are now under control, the tributary was once quite turbulent and prone to floods. Many areas with swift currents still remain, however, and prove challenging to inexperienced sailors. Once, Esfrost ships, armed with the full knowledge of the river's waters, were able to navigate these currents. Or only Esfrost ships. You had a hard time understanding what it is that Glenbrook has a monopoly on? Food. Glenbrook has a monopoly on food. Hyzant has... Glenbrook has food. Esfrost is frozen tundra and mountains, right? Not a lot of food. Hyzant is a fucking desert. Not a lot of food. Glenbrook has the food. Hyzant has the salt. Esfrost has the iron. And I talked about this with Mayokai yesterday when I started playing, right? Like, it seems really strange to me that they're super highlighting the salt-iron war, right? Like, the salt and the iron were these two big important things. But I have no earthly idea why Esfrost and Hyzant haven't just butchered Glenbrook, like, attacked them together, and been like, cool, we carve out half of the nation for each of us. Half Glenbrook goes to Hyzant, half Glenbrook goes to Esfrost, and then they just farm those territories. Like, I don't... What? Anyways. I'm getting too involved in the resource management of these nations. The other tributary, stemming from the eastern deserts, flows calmly throughout. The gentle sloping of the river also allows for easy upstream passage. Water transport flourishes for most of the year, although low water levels in some seasons make the voyage near impossible for larger vessels. The two branches converge into a single mighty river at Glenbrook and flow south to the Norzelia Falls. If it's just food, they did a poor job portraying it. They did mention earlier, right, like, that because of once the war ended, right, like, Glenbrook was able to restabilize, and due to the influx of trade and salt, right, like, they have all these meats and fish and things like that that they produce, but they were able to preserve them and now produce food for basically all three nations, is the way that they kind of implied things. So, but yeah, I agree. it honestly does seem like that's Glenbrook's major selling point, is it has the lush, fertile lands, and they're really not highlighting it very much. A cursed cask. Have you heard the rumor of the moving cask? It's said that a mysterious apparition has been seen wandering around Hyzant lately. According to one theory, the lingering hatred of someone who drowned their sorrows in wine gathered within the cask and caused it to move, gaining it the name the Cursed Cask. They say that the lonely apparition beckons others to the same fate, calling out these words. Welcome and welcome and welcome and welcome and... Okay, that's a little creepy. Alright, cool. Sounds like a plan. We have done what I wanted to do. I do like, even if I'm kind of like, you know, argumentative about what's going on and the portrayal of like, you know, which resources are important resources and etc. etc. I do still really like all of the lore tidbits. I like that that's a big focus in the game and that you can actually read a lot of these little things. So that's pretty neat. That being said, I think that is going to be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.